Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Big Fat Hike.
I'm John.
I'm Soraya.
And this is day 3 of Section 4 hike. This is us hiking from Cold Spring?
Just before
Rocky
Rocky Top.
Was it Rocky Top or Rocky Bald?
Rocky Bald. Rocky Bald.
Yeah, Rocky Bald down to Tellico Gap and then back up and then on our way out to the NOC.
All right, it is 7 o'clock Tuesday morning. We're making our way from our campsite up to Rocky Bald. Well, we're not going to the Bald, but we are going past the Bald. I guess we do have a little bit of an ascent. But then it's down to Tellico Gap. Then we climb out of there, do a little up and down, and then it's down to the NOC. It's a 9.6 mile day today. We're getting an earlier start than yesterday to hopefully get ahead of the heat. And hopefully that works, because it was kind of punishing us yesterday. We still were able to do 9.3, but we want to get to the NOC early enough to get to the restaurant. So that's why we're leaving an hour earlier today. So even if we take all the breaks we took yesterday, we'll still at least get there an hour earlier, for what it's worth. Okay, here's the path up to Rocky Bald. We're not going up there because we gotta make time. We should be going downhill from here. And then, I don't know, depending on if there's water near Tellico, we may camel up, because all we did was fill our bottles at camp with the Sawyer, or the Ceanoc that I carried to camp. And now we're just kind of holding on to that. I don't know. May start drinking a little bit of water, because I know we're going to come across water. Water's been pretty plentiful on this trip. I know I said I wasn't going to talk about water. Okay. Damn. Just keep going.
This particular day, I think it was supposed to get up to it was supposed to get up into the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if we can get to X point, like on the other side of Tellico, before we start our descent to Fontana, before noon, then we should be fine. Little did I know that the descent to Fontana, or not Fontana, the descent to the NOC was going to be brutal. But, it still was better than trying to climb in the heat like we did the day before. Like, every day that we do always kind of guides us for the next day. Like, if we have a rough experience doing something the day before, we try to prep for it the next day. And every day that we on the trail, we got an earlier start. So day 1, we got to start at 9. Day 2, we started at 8. And to this one, we started at 7. Mm-hmm. So our whole goal was to try to get ahead of the sun. And we also started, today was like heavy cloud cover throughout most of the morning. And as a matter of fact, I think it was most of the day. It wasn't until we really got to the NOC that the sky opened up.
Yeah.
So it actually worked out in our favor, and it really didn't get as hot as.
It was open on the rock face when we were going over the rock face. But,
yeah.
But I think at that point, the hike there is a little more challenging. I wouldn't say difficult. It's just more challenging because you're on a cliff face. But I think that nobody was really thinking about how hot it was at that point. Because we were very close to all the other hikers at that point. We all kind of converged in that area, and I think it's because it's challenging. And so I don't think any of us were really thinking about how hot it was when we were going down that. We were just thinking about staying on the mountain.
Right. It was the steepest point of the entire trip up to that point, I think. The steepest descent.
Yep.
But it was beautiful. The views were just
yeah.
incredible.
As long as you didn't look down while you were going down.
We made it. Tellico Gap. It's been a fun hike. We're done. No. But at least now we get to answer the question, would we have been able to camp down here? My guess is no. Of course, we're winding around. There is a parking lot, it looks like. Maybe. Or maybe that's just the road twisting. Oh, so this is Tellico Gap. It's kind of different. We got some power lines. There's some weird, like, boxed in area over here. I mean, if you were so inclined, you could throw up a tent here, but for us, I don't think we had any options down here. So I'm glad we didn't push on. So all you hammock campers, of course, I'm not getting a clear view of it yet, so I'll just chill and get it at the bottom. So this is Tellico Gap in its entirety. As you can see, some places to park. That's where we came down from. And just a road. Not a whole lot of camping. I thought there might be some tent sites, but no. Nowhere to hammock. And now we make our way up. Oh good, I thought we were going up there. Some nice scenic views.
Tellico was very not what I expected.
I'm glad we didn't hike down to Tellico trying to camp, because there really wouldn't have been. I mean, there's places that you could probably throw up a tent, but I don't know that I would want to, because we did see vehicles go by on that road.
I don't remember the hike out of Tellico being that bad.
Yeah, I didn't think it was as bad as I think I expected it to be worse.
See, that's another one of those things where it's like, based on prior performance, you expect like, all right, well, it's going to take us a while to climb out of this, because it's taken us a while to climb out of everything leading up to this, but we just powered right up this.
Yeah. I feel like it was a little more gradual than
I don't think it was.
some of them had been.
I think it was just cooler. We didn't have this direct sun on us, and we'd already been hiking for a couple of days, so we were used to it at that point. You can see some burnt trees there. I think that all plays a contributing factor, and it's just like, and it all worked in our favor to increase our speed going uphill. And I just feel like it wasn't that steep overall anyway.
Yeah.
Because it didn't go down nearly as far as, I mean, the NOC went down way far.
Yeah.
And that was one of those other things that we were discussing. Like, the climb out of the NOC was going to be no joke. Because we had to literally climb up to the height of, I think, way above. Like, that high up from the NOC. And it was just going to be, it was going to take a long time. I think it was a six mile stretch of us going just nothing but up. And we were like contemplating whether or not we were even going to be able to do it. I remember that. That was the mortar looking section where it was all just like that burnt tree. This is right before we get to the water.
There's some water. Here's some fun after the spring coming out of Tellico Gap. Besides the gnats, this down tree that is blocking the trail. So now it's my turn.
If you give me your pack, I'll move it out of the way.
Take my poles. And we just got these back on after filling our water. Taking them back off. Okay. Going on. Oh, Jesus. Oh, all right, there we go. All right. Well, here we are at Western Bald. There's the fire tower. I might climb it.
Oh yeah.
Wesser.
Yeah, Western Bald. I forgot all
hazy.
about Western Bald.
So that climb out of Tellico, you go up to Westerbald, and that's where we were here.
Can't see too far out. Wow, that's a mountain over there. I thought that was a cloud. It's all mountains. Holy shit. Okay, so I climbed to the top of the fire tower. Had a pretty good view. I think we were over there last night. Ooh.
Yeah, this one was nice because you got to go all
It's
the
not
way
bad
up.
up here.
It wasn't like
Pretty open.
Albert Mountain where they have. it
I'm gonna sit
blocked
up here and
off.
chillax.
You can only go up the steps to the top of the steps underneath.
Up here.
the very top of it.
I don't have to deal with the gnats. I'm whipped.
No, I'm not.
You're just grunting and groaning.
Just whipped.
No, that was worth it.
careful when you come down, that's loose.
That's weird.
So that was a weird one because
idea.
that was water going uphill. Like you had to go uphill to get to the water. It's like
I'm leaving
that was
Soraya
just
behind.
bizarre. So we
Just
came down to
talking
the
like a bear.
shelter. I think you went to the privy, right?
It's over here.
It's privy, and we had lunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like there's two. So this is Wesser Bulge Shelter. I'm going to be mixing up an electrolyte drink and taking my shoes off for a second because this downhill is torture on my feet. This is like a very open shelter. It's kind of crazy. All right, so here we are. She's gonna hit the privy, and I'm gonna do my thing. Here she comes. So later.
This actually looks like I think we're starting our way down.
Yeah, I think we kind of skipped our lunch
Yeah.
video. Yeah, because I think it's going to open up here in a little bit. You can see here, this is where we're walking on that ridge.
Yeah.
And it still has a little bit on either side of it, but eventually it'll open up to where there's nothing.
Yeah, it gets very, very narrow. And then you're just kind of like following the side of the mountain down. It gets really tight to the edge.
This is kind of the spot on the AT that I knew was coming up that I have been dreading just because of my fear of heights. But I mean, it's part of the challenge is you want to push yourself, push past your fears of things, and I'm actually surprised I did as well as I did on it.
Yeah. I mean, it was pretty breathtaking. I'm surprised that she didn't freak out because it just like the whole thing opened up and it's just a little bit of rock and this big open sky and
I think it probably helped that there were people in front of us going down.
yeah.
So I think if I was trying to go down without someone in front of me, it would have been a little more hairy because you wouldn't kind of see from someone else where you were going.
Right.
It's probably
Because
the
you really
NFC.
can't, once you get to that ledge, you can't see where the trail goes. You're just kind of hoping that there's trail beyond it. But I could see that there was
Yeah, you're
someone
probably
going in front of me, so.
Yeah, somebody forged a path before that she could see how they got down and kind of mimic what they were doing. I think that makes it easier than trying to have to negotiate it yourself and deal with your concern. Because then you're going to be looking around a lot more to figure out where you can go. And
Yeah. Oh, well, I thought you got more video of it.
I did. No, it's still. This is where we're like hugging the side and all that. It's still gonna. You haven't gone down yet.
Yeah. But you can see, like, there's not much trail. The trail gets really narrow.
Oh, Jesus.
And off to the side, it's just a drop off.
Yeah.
And it's not like other drop offs where it's drop off and you got like a hill that if you were to fall, you'd just kind of roll down that hill. This was like, there was nothing.
Yeah, it was pretty steep.
And it was up extremely high.
Yeah.
I feel like not very many people talk about this spot too much, and I don't know why. I mean,
I hear it.
I would think that more people would talk about this particular section, but
This is the main spot we were talking about, where she starts to do some real strenuous descent. You can tell she's stopping, like preparing for it. Oh, taking a photo.
taking a picture.
Yeah.
Contemplating my life choices at this point, how hard it would be to go back.
This is
Like, 'cause you're just kind of stepping out on this ledge, and it's like you got nowhere to go.
Yeah, this is getting a little hard for me to even watch, honestly.
taking video, and oh, this is your nightmare.
I can't believe I did this.
Yeah. Because usually you'd stop right there, and you wouldn't go any further, and you actually go out there, and it's like.
I mean, you can tell.
Yeah, you can see her
I
taking
was scared.
tiny little steps.
I was scared.
Careful, don't be filming the trail.
Oh, I'm not. I'm stopping right here.
And that's where you're going.
This is
Yeah.
nice. A
I mean,
little hot, but it's nice.
There's not a lot of. I mean, it may look like there's a lot, but there really wasn't a lot to go on. I mean, it was all real tight, and it goes real downhill, real far. You can see how she's got it like kind of butt down. I mean, it was steep, steep, steep.
Okay. I was like, man.
And it really doesn't help having gnats in your face while you're trying to do that too.
yeah.
And here's part of that where it's like it's just drop off on one side. Like you got no rope, no net, no nothing. It's probably the most dangerous part of the trail I think we've done. Up to
Yeah,
this point.
I was nervous having him even film because I wanted him to watch what he was doing.
Yeah, that's why I didn't do a lot of it. Because I could recognize the danger myself. I'm like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to get footage because I gotta mind my business.
Yeah, I think it would be, you'd get some really good video if you had like a GoPro or something strapped to you, but
Right.
I wouldn't suggest trying to take video. You kind of need both your hands on that section.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, definitely. Like the last thing I would want to think is like I fell off a mountain because I was trying to get a good angle.
It's definitely the scariest point of the trail so far for me. Like I actually was like very nervous. I think I just pushed forward and I didn't give myself time to think about it, because if you notice I took that picture and I just went for it. I didn't
Yeah.
stick around. I didn't,
That's
I just
sketchy.
wanted to go and get it over with.
Oh, I remember that.
Okay, this was we're getting pretty close to the end of
Yeah.
the climb down, because we had already passed the
We
campsite
got
at
most
this
of our
point.
scent knocked out.
Because there's a campsite 0.8 miles from the NOC, which is basically the last place you
Not
can
that it's
camp
helping our
before
feet
the
any.
knock. And if you don't camp there, there is no camping down at the NOC. You'd have to climb out or stay at a hostel or stay there at the bunkhouse.
I remember once we got off the really steep stuff, I started getting annoyed.
Oh, well, not all of
because there was a lot of this where it was just like it just kept going and going and going
Yeah.
and going. Like, man, this is taking forever. And then once you get in,
Then you get to climb every once in a while.
then once you get in within earshot of the NOC, that took a little while. It felt like, but that's just because our feet hurt so bad from climbing down that far.
Then you get to a point where you can start smelling the NOC and you can smell the food.
Oh God!
And that's just propels you forward because I mean it smells so good.
Yeah, this is really close to the NOC, I think.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, there's that bridge.
Yes, I can.
And I was like, once I started smelling that restaurant, I just wanted to knock Soraya over and run down.
Yeah, it was really hard not to like go as fast as humanly possible at this point because you can smell it.
Yeah.
And we knew we were going straight to that restaurant.
And we did. We went straight to we went to the general store and got our key cards for the room, but then right after that, we went to that restaurant. We were talking about going up and taking a shower and all that. Nope.
And they don't care. They are so used to it that
You can already see the road now.
Yeah.
NOC.
They don't even care if you stink or not. You just drop your pack outside and go in. And that's pretty much hiker etiquette. Wherever you go on trail, if you go into a building, you take your pack off. You don't take it in with you.
Right.
You just leave it outside. And you'll notice that everywhere you go, there's packs sitting outside.
And that's what I mean about people don't go snooping through people's packs and stuff.
Yeah.
'Cause you leave it outside restaurants, you leave it, and leave it outside stores. Like nobody's going. No, I mean, if
only
somebody
like
else started pawing
500
through somebody
feet.
else's pack, they're going to get called out real quick because there's so many other hikers around.
Yeah.
The thing about this, it's like I feel like we got a really good opportunity. We got a good experience here that we never got coming out of Neal's Gap.
Yeah.
Because when our day one, we didn't go to Neal's. We took the the Benton McKay Trail back to the parking lot near Neal's because that's where we were parked. So we didn't get the experience coming right to Neal's, and I feel like we kind of missed out on that. Whereas here we emptied out right in the NOC, and it's kind of magical. It's kind of like it's like that's the experience, you know. And it was nice.
You can see now you can see the NLC.
Yeah, you can see the outfitter right there. A lot of switchbacks at this section. It's like, screw it, we'll just tumble down.
I can definitely tell my legs were like jelly at this point. I was really struggling to walk straight because, I mean, you gotta think you're going downhill for 6 miles. It's hard on your knees, hard on your feet.
Yeah, this is the point where I'm thinking about not and run to the food.
Yeah, I can see where you're talking about. You can really tell my penguin feet
Yeah.
at this point. I think the more tired I get, the worse it gets.
Boy, it looks like there's a lot less people there when we first got there than there was when we've been there for a little bit.
There you go, that could be my trail name.
Well, we made it. Huh? Oh, look at that water. That looks so nice. I kind of want to just get in it. So, okay. So we were shooting for a 7-day trip to go from Winding Stair to Fontana Dam and do it over 7 days. 3 days to get to the NOC, which we've done, and then 4 days to get us back to Fontana. Well, after this 3 days, we decided we're not going to do the whole thing because in our forecast, we've got a mix of rain and heat. And the heat's been what's killing us up to this point. Like today it got up to 81. Tomorrow it's not. It's like 70 something, but it's also raining. Thursday it's supposed to get up to 83 and then rain overnight. Friday it's supposed to rain all day. Saturday's supposed to rain all day. So we're just like, I don't know. We're struggling as is with the heat. And we just don't want to push ourselves. And why should we? We can always come back out when it's cooler and do the hike out of the NOC, which I'd prefer to do because the heat just is no fun. So I think that's it. That's obviously it. We scheduled a shuttle to get us back to our Jeep. So yeah, we're out of here. So thanks for watching. We'll be back maybe in the fall to finish out what we started when it's cooler.
I thought I said more about it at the end of the video, but I didn't. But one of the other things, contributing factors to us ultimately deciding to end our trip, was that I was under the preconceived notion, the misguided preconceived notion, that the hike out of the NOC and the 4 days we're going to spend hiking from the NOC to Fontana was only going to have like 9,000 feet of elevation, when in fact it was over 11,000, which I didn't realize until after I got to the NOC and then checked gut hooks. And I was like, wow, that's way more elevation than I thought we were going to be doing. So all of that together really contributed to what we ultimately did. And, it is what it is.
I don't have any regrets. I think that we stopped at a good time, and I mean, you're going to be tired no matter what. You're going to be sore no matter what, no matter how many days you're out there. I know we could have pushed on. I know we could have got to Fontana Dam, but it would have just been miserable, I think, at that point for us, especially with the rain moving in. And I mean, we have the ability to come back and do it again another time, so why not?
Yeah.
And then it just gave us time to go do something else that I've always wanted to do, which was drive a little bit on the Blue Ridge Parkway and just kind of enjoy the area a little bit. Go eat at a diner down there because they got great southern food. So that's what we did.
Yep. And we'll go back either next spring or this fall, depending on certain circumstances involving our personal lives, to whether or not we'll have the time or not, or what our situation is, and finish up what we set out to do on this trip before we get into the Smokies, and then it becomes a whole other thing in and of itself. So yeah, we're gonna continue on. It's not done yet. And who knows, maybe next year there will be a through hiking video. Maybe, who knows? The future is wide open. So that's all we got for this video series, or this section. So hope you enjoyed it, and stay tuned for more hikes. We're gonna continue to tape what we do, what we go out and do, and we'll definitely cover the next section that we do as well. And we may do it this style, we may go back to the old style, who knows. Leave a comment in this video.
Do you even read the comments?
No.
We don't read the comments.
Well, I do sometimes. Anyway, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.